Guess I ought to quit fooling around with him, huh? Before I let him go.
Oh, it's all right. We have plenty of days today. All right. Good, big, healthy fish, Danny. Water's right there, Steve?
Ah, yes, sir. You got some brand new ones.
The stainless steel seems to work a little better.
Hey, everybody. I want to introduce you to Danny Tamayo, born and raised in Port Isabel. This guy's got salt water in his veins, you know? Where'd you grow up, Danny? Right there on the canal, on the town canal, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that what y'all call that? The town canal?
The town canal, yeah. You know, that Port Isabel area. There's really two islands, Steve. It's being cut by that canal, and that's what they call it.
Was it that way naturally in the old days?
I think so. From the old maps that I've seen, I think so.
There was a little estero, or whatever you might call it, running through there, huh?
Sure was.
Well, we are going to do something today that's different. We're in the Brownsville Ship Channel. We've already caught a jack crevalle. Saw that little trout. We're also going to be catching, well, I'm not going to say we're going to for sure catch a snook, but we might. We also might catch a mangrove snapper. Camas, Danny.
Catch snook in here, catch groupers in here, skipjack, plenty of skipjack.
And by the tarpon. There he is. Oh, boy, he gave it a good strong pull there.
But you're right along that edge, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're fishing
right
that edge, that drop off.
Got my old sweet father-in-law back in the back of the boat. And we're going to have a good time all day. Steve Walker, Vamonos. Did you see that fish pull, Danny? That was the biggest fish yet.
I like that one where that tail walking on that trout. That's why I like those fish for trout so much, because he's a natural tail walker. He just comes out of that water like nothing.
From the Laguna Madre to the Sierra Madre, the people, the wildlife, the history, on the border, outdoors, Vamonos with Steve Walker, brought to you by L&F Distributors. That's Bud Light.
Day before yesterday in the afternoon, Steve, I only had 9 fish. Those 9 fish, 48 pounds. Woo. I was fishing belly-hoo underneath the causeway, just letting it sit there until the trout would pick it up. And they were all monsters. There was a couple in there that we hooked that you just, there was nothing, you know, you could do to them. Put a new one on there, Steve.
Yeah, we bounced it. It was a little
tap to it.
Yeah.
Piggies.
I think it was piggies, yeah.
Just get a couple more casts and we'll move over to the other one. There's 2 or 3 spots we got to try in here real quick.
It's what you call structure fishing. Coming up on it, Danny.
Yeah.
Boy, look at the barnacles on there. Not much of a fish. No, it's a trout. It's another trout. Danny, let's talk a little bit about the freeze and the effects that it had. What do you remember about it?
It put a lot of kill on big trout, a lot of kill on small trout, a lot of kill on almost every kind of fish. And finally, here this year, we're finally seeing some end results of all the conservation measures they're making.
They picked up a trout. Was she dead or was she just...
Oh no, she was deader than a doornail. She was eyes solid. You know, and she went at 15 pounds. She went at 15 pounds, 5 ounces. This is a little mangrove snapper right here.
Yeah, let's show them that. But first, I want you to hear him say again, how big was that trout?
15 pounds, 5 ounces.
15 pounds, 5 ounces.
We weighed him there at the White Sands Marina.
Show him this fish here, too, and explain what we got.
is most of the time an ocean fish. But you find them in here in the chip channel in the wintertime, and you find them in the bay systems over at the old causeway in that area over there in the spring and summer. And when we have our first cold fronts come in, this guy's come into the deep water again. But there's a good healthy population of this guys in the water.
How big will they get?
Up to 7 pounds, but this is most of the time the normal size right here.
Little bitty, huh?
Yeah, this is a little female right here.
How can you tell?
A male is more brightly purplish color to him than a female.
Are they good to eat?
Excellent, excellent eating.
Really?
It's just like a snapper from the Gulf, except he's got a little bit better taste because he's a bait fish. But this structures, that's what they produce. They produce quite a bit of this mangrove snappers.
Got another fish down there in the back of the boat. No, it's a trout this time, isn't it? Nice trout. Monty is, like I say, he's my father-in-law. Spent his life in the Air Force. Been living down on the island. Between the island and San Antonio for a long time. Loves to fish. Been a real pleasure to have him with me. Yeah, mero maestro.
It's hard fishing with those little itsy-bitsy shrimp too. Hey, you gonna give it a shot?
Hey, Monty's on a roll.
Watch you out here to catch snapper and how we're doing catching trout.
Another decent trout? We'll take those.
Oh, definitely.
He keeps this up, he's going to be limited out.
He'll give us a chance to fish that, Steve. Get him all while you can. There he is.
Yeah?
There he is.
There he is.
Sorry, Monty. Sorry.
Whoa!
What you got that time?
It's a little bit longer fish, I think.
That's trout?
I think it's a decent trout, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a good
Nice
fish.
trout.
It's a good
Oh,
man.
Oh, that hurts, Steve.
And he broke off above the leader. That was a good fish. I don't know if the
Very
camera
nice
got to
fish.
see that or not, but that was about, oh my goodness. It's a 5-pound
That's all right,
trout.
Steve. We're into the catch and release.
Well, we did that one. Missed a good one, Monty. You missed a good one.
Yeah, that was a good fish.
Yeah, he was a lot of fish.
Won't those hurt though when they get off?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
You're so used to it now.
Yeah, I've lost so many fish, Danny.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
How many fish you lost in your career after all?
A lot. A lot. But it still hurts. You know?
Oh, well,
I like people who catch fish. Brings a smile to my face.
You know, today is just an absolutely horrible day. Well, the wind, one of the reasons we're in the channel is it's just going to beat them up today. We're expecting 35-mile-an-hour winds today. And I can believe that it's almost there right now. With Danny Tamayo, Monty Montgomery. Let's take a break. There's a good fish over here. Ah, un trucha, trucha. Have you got a decent trout, Monty? He does. He's got one the same size as yours.
Must be a good school of trout in here.
We've got some. You got to give that one back, Monty.
It's a little small. But you know, you can see, Steve, I use a very big hook.
Just in,
Trout don't swallow it so hard. It doesn't kill them that much.
you know, you got a good point. You got a real good point. That fish wasn't going to die, was he?
No, sir.
He wasn't bleeding through the gills.
Nothing like that. He was hooked down there in the gill, but it's a big hook and it's real easy to take off.
Good point. When we get into, as you know, everybody's fishing with popping cork this spring. You know, Jim's Pier Boys even. Oh my goodness, you know. And of course, when you use those little bitty treble hooks, you have a lot of damage done to the fish.
Trout population, yes, sir.
You know, a good regulation would be the first 10 fish you catch, just keep. First 10 trout you catch, whatever size.
You know, Steve, all your trout right now, the trout that you're catching, they're all 14 and a half inches. And you know, 3 or 4 of them 10 trout that you catch are going to end up dying because of the way the people handle it.
Sure.
You know, and I think that's a good idea.
There you go. Hey!
There's a
Ah, another little snapper. And this little guy is going to be good to eat. You know, I've never had mangrove snapper.
No?
No.
You're going to enjoy them. You watch. You're going to call me up and tell me, Dan, that was the best fish I ever had.
Well, how are you going to cook it?
Just fry them like you would any other fish.
Just a pan fish, right? Just like you would a big Rio Grande perch or something, which is what they look like. In a
Fillet, they come out and make some real nice fillets because they're such a thick fish. It's a small fish, but it's a real thick fish.
not a lot of bones.
No, none at all. Only
Is
in the
that
rib
right?
cage. Only in
Is
the
that
rib
right?
cage.
You've got something there that's
A little different.
a little
Easy to
different,
catch.
kind of a sport. Now, this is a good family outing to bring the young kids to, you know, teaching the thrill of having a fish on the line, because it's not hard fishing. And there's action, you know, particularly a little 10-year-old boy. You know how bored they can get from
Being out here all day long. There he is.
let him get away from him. But you can see it's just non-stop. We're running free time right now. You know what?
Come on, you know.
Well, yeah, let you get your fish in.
This is a real pretty. Look at how red he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at how pretty he is.
That's the male. That's a little bit better size, too. Oh, yeah, look
Look at how pretty he is.
at the belly, folks.
Look at that. Look
Now-
at that lower hinge.
It's got some ripper teeth at the top. Now listen, if we just scale him and gut him and head him, can we fry him whole? Is that a good way to do it? I mean, it seems like it'd be awfully hard to fillet that thing out that small.
Yeah.
Just treat him like you would a big brim, right?
Exactly.
Big Rio Grande
The
perch.
same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Got one on.
Monty, you're right there, sir. There you go, Steve. Put it out there.
Yes, sir. Monty's catching the trout, huh?
Yeah. You don't want to mess with this small fish. You want to mess with the big trout.
Oh yeah, keeper trout this time. Heck yeah. That's an illegal fish.
Pretty, look at how chunky he is, though.
Yeah, they are chunky. Got a knot. Got lots of spots, got lots of pretty purple on them.
He does. Good color, too.
Another keeper trout.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Andale. Hey,
What you got?
with Danny Tamayo and Monty Montgomery. I'm Steve Walker. We'll be back in a minute. Snapper.
Snapper.
Another little snapper. Little male.
Uh-huh.
There's a fish. Small trout. Small trout.
Got him, Steve?
Yeah, and that big hook comes out.
hook,
Even though he swallowed it down in there, there's no blood. That fish is alive, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me, you know as much about snook.
Steve,
You and Gilbert are probably the snook hefties of the lower coast. What do you think the chances are of us ever having a decent snook fishery down here?
this year it'll happen, Steve.
Really?
I think that this year will be a good year for snook. I've seen more snook in the last 2-3 weeks than I have seen in a long, long time.
Like how many snooks in the last 2 or 3 weeks?
I say 20. Good, easy 20.
What size?
Anywhere from 21 inches all the way up to 28 inches. Steve. And they're in here consistently. It's just finding them. Once you find them, you can catch them. But it's finding them because they got so much territory in here that they go to.
You would have to rate them as one of the major fish too, wouldn't you? Major smart, major wary.
Definitely, you know, and a snook, if you don't catch him in the morning, if you don't hook him in the morning, it's very rare that you catch him during the latter part of the day. You know, he's most of the time a nighttime feeder. He's a big eye fish. And he likes that nighttime, and he likes big shrimp and mullet.
Yeah.
You know, and Gilbert catches them with that red worm that he developed himself.
Little female snapper, right?
Dale.
Remember the difference now, folks.
Look at this. He's not as purple as the other ones. He just got a little bit up on top.
Well, keep back on snook now. Back to change the subject on you too quick there.
Yeah, like I was telling you, he's a fighter.
Those gill plates, well, that's one reason you've got such a stout leader on this. Just in case we catch a big snook, we got a halfway chance of bringing him in.
Bringing him in, because he's got them razor blades mouth, and he always comes up to the top of the water and he shakes that mouth at you, and he's got that soft, it's got like the sandpaper in his mouth, and he rubs that leader.
Yeah.
But I think that this year we'll see more snook being caught in this bay than we've seen in the last 5 years, Steve. I've seen, like I said, the last 2 weeks, I say about 20 snook come out of this place in here. And most of the time over at that black boat over there.
I've got another little mangrove snapper bopping on me.
Yeah, they will drive you up the wall. They get in here so thick sometimes, though, Steve, that you just get tired of catching them. Piggies.
Piggies. But you know that snook, best thing about them, they don't have any parasites in them. You know what?
Very, very clean fish.
That's the cleanest fish of them all, isn't it?
Very clean fish. Very, very good eating. You know.
Oh, it's the best. There's no blood in them.
Very white meat, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's superior fish in every way.
It'd be nice if we could get more of them. In here, it'd be something different for the people.
Another question for you. Did you get to see the manatee that was in Port Isabel this year?
No, but I heard quite a bit about it. JR lives down that channel, and JR said he spotted it 2 or 3 times this
It's
year.
real. I mean, it wasn't just a rumor.
Yes, no, JR spotted it, and JR's, you know, a guide himself.
No, well, several people saw it. I don't think anybody got a photograph of it, though, but there was a manatee, ladies and gentlemen, in Port Isabel, right?
Yep.
Near the Fingers, was it? Or am I...
In the Fingers itself.
In the Fingers itself.
But you know, the old-timers, you talk to the old-timers.
Hey, I was just going to say, there are historical reports of manatee in the mouth of the Rio Grande back in the old days. Caribbean manatee, they come up from the... Yeah, there he's on there. They come up from the... That's another little snapper. Oh, we're going to have some snapper to eat, aren't we?
That's what my grandfather would tell me, that
That they
there was
saw
manatees. Yeah, there was manatees in those days, you know.
Gotcha. How long have Tamayos been in Port Isabel or South Texas?
My grandfather was a Martinez. My great-grandfather was a Martinez. My grandfather was a Flores. And then from my dad marrying my mom, I became a Tamayo. But they've been there, God, I say when Port Isabel was just getting started. My great-grandfather was. That's all I've ever known, though, Steve. That's fishing in my blood.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
once they ruled out that commercial fishing, I had to find something else that I like to fish so much. I had to find something else to do.
Did you used to a trot line?
Yes, sir. I was a trout liner, but you know, I see my faults now of us catching so much fish then. But it was a business, you know. We made a living off of it.
Well, you know, that's times change. Things.
It's sad to say. I tell you right now, there are some people in Port Isabel that are unbelievable fishermen, Steve, the old timers, but because they don't have the education, that high school diploma, where they can read and write and go to school to get their captain's license, they put a lot of hurt in them. You know, they should have phased a lot of the commercial fishermen. They should have phased them into this kind of a fishing.
Giving them a chance to make a
yes,
different
sir,
living.
to make a good living.
They are great fishermen too, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
But you got to have a Coast Guard. You got to be Coast Guard approved.
Approved,
and
yes,
that's
sir.
not an easy task. I know
It
some
really
guys
isn't. It really isn't.
And it's expensive.
Very much so. I just got lucky and met some good people, and they sent me to school. But with 4 kids, I would never had a chance, Steve, to make it by myself, go to the school and be able to get my captain's license.
You couldn't have afforded it.
Oh no, sir. No.
Yeah. The
Working-
time or the money.
Working for somebody at $3.45 an hour.
Oh yeah, no, Danny. That's slave. You know, that's slavery.
That's the bad thing about the
slavery. It's something
the valley.
I
That's
know all
the bad
about
thing
wage
about the
slavery,
valley.
too, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just there, but for the grace of God, go I.
Something up close to that tank that we did pretty well, Danny.
Rough day, incredibly rough day, but a lot of fun. Those mangrove snapper are going to be delicious. You got to give that. You got to do that for yourself. That is a treat. And you saw how easy they are to catch. You just got to be in them. Hey, thanks to Danny Tamayo and to my old compadre Monty Montgomery. I'm Steve Walker. Que la vaya bonito.
Vamonos with Steve Walker was brought to you by L&F Distributors.